it's Alex Lightbeer and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. So today I just started a new series called the Maze Runner series. And I just finished the first book and I really loved it. It's probably one of my favorite books that I've read this year and of all time. So today I'm just going to give a simple book summary on the book. And there's a warning that there are a lot of spoilers in here. So in the description I'll give some time frames where you skip from the first time to the next time, and I'll make sure to tell you in the video also. So let's get right into the summary. So the main character, Thomas, he wakes up in an elevator and he doesn't know where he is, and all his memories are gone. And he's greeted by two kids named Albie and Newt. And he sees about like 50 other boys around him, and he does not know where he is. And then he also sees like a big giant wall surrounding the area that they're in, and he's just really confused about what's happening. So he learns that the place he's in is called the Glade, and the people there are called the Gladers. And he starts getting treated with no respect, and he starts hating that place. But he starts getting used to it, and he learns about a lot of things, like how the wall is actually a maze. And for 2 years, they've been trying to get out of the Glade using the maze, because all the other boys, just like him, have lost their memory. And one day, Thomas sees a room with a boy struggling, and he finds out that he is going through a process called the changing. And how the changing happens is there are things called grievers in the maze. And what they do is if they sting you, then the only way to cure yourself is using grape serum. And when you use the serum, it gives you back memories, and it makes you partially insane. So then one day, the first girl in history has ever popped up to the camp, and the girl's in a coma, and somehow she can deliver Thomas messages through telepathy, and she tells him that the maze is a code. Then one day, Albie and a runner named Minho, they go to the maze. And in the maze, there are people called runners, and what the runners do is that they go into the maze and they try to find the way out of the maze, and they make maps each day comparing it. And Thomas learns that each day the walls move, so they don't really know where they actually are. So Thomas, he sees Albie and Minho go into the maze, and they don't come back for a long time. And eventually in the night, the doors of the maze close, and the doors are about to close, and Albie and Minho are stuck in the maze. So just about when the door was about to close, Thomas stepped into the maze with Albie and Minho. So Minho tells Thomas that Albie got stung by a griever and that he's really sick. And Minho also mentions that nobody has ever survived a night in the maze. But Thomas, he somehow has special abilities, and he manages to spend the whole night with Minho, and they defeat a griever. And what they notice is that the griever, they trick the griever into killing itself by tricking the griever into running off a cliff, where in the maze. So in the morning they come back, they surprise everyone, and Thomas officially becomes a runner, and Minho was going to train him. But then one day, the girl wakes up, and Thomas and Minho, they're doing their running training. And what Minho says is that the maze is split into 8 sections. In each section, one runner takes care of one section for each day and maps out the sections. And they also realize that each month the wall patterns keep on repeating, but they still can't find a way out of the maze. And on that day, there was nothing really different about the maze. It was just the regular, there's a dead end at the end. But then, one day, they stay in the maze overnight to try and see what it feels like out in the maze overnight. And they found out that the grievers jump into the cliff at this one spot to get into the griever hole. And they come back and they spread the news. And then the girl wakes up, and then she talks to Thomas. And Thomas somehow knows the girl, and the girl also somehow knows Thomas. And the girl's named Teresa, and they start bonding quickly. And then Thomas still remembers what the girl said, that the maze is a code. So one day, Thomas comes up with an idea. But now, once strange things started happening. So the sun never set, and the doors never closed. So that was signaling that that was their chance to sneak out of the maze and leave. And Thomas comes out with the idea. Since the runners, they always map out the maps and compare them day to day, but they never compare the sections. And when they compare the section and combine them, they come out with a letter. And that letter can spell a word. And then it spells a series of words that can somehow be important. And they don't really know what's happening, and they don't really think about it, but Thomas knows it's very important. But then the weird thing is, since the maze doors never close, that means grievers can go into the glade. So Thomas knows he's important to this. So he needs to get his memories back by getting stung by the grievers. So he intentionally gets stung by the grievers, and he learns a lot from the changing. So he learns that there is no out to them. They can't get out of the maze. And they have to, but there is actually a plan. They have to sneak into the griever hole and go to a computer and put in the code that they got from the maps, and then that will lead them to the creators of the maze. And only partially of the gladers agree with that, but most of them come with him, including the main keepers and some other of the gladers. So when they go into there, they jump down into the griever hole in that exact spot, and they find the computer, they punch it in the code, and they get led to the creators. So the creators are a group called Wicked, and what Wicked does is they take boys and girls, or they take boys and put them in a really harsh environment to try to train people to overcome the environment that is going on in the real world. So there's a thing called the flare in the real world at that time, and it's a disease. And they want to train people to overcome that disease, but a lot of people think it's inhumane and really mean. So when the wicked person is hugging them, a bunch of men and women, they swarm around her and kill the women. And they bring the gladers into their houses, they feed them and they help them because they're against Wicked. And at the end, it ends with the epilogue saying that it's a note from one of the people in the Wicked group, and she says that Phase 1 just ended and that Phase 2 would start the next book. So that's the end of the book, and as you know, the spoilers are in the description, so if you want to check those out, then look in there. And thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this book, and I hope you read the book, and thanks for watching. Bye.